So, hello, once again I'm back on my old trustworthy Dell Alienware M17 R5 AMD edition, and today, just like yesterday, I'm recording locally and streaming, but not at the Kick service, on Twitch service today. Before I will continue, allow me to see if the stream is working properly. So let's check it out. Where are you, stream? What? What is this? Yeah, I don't know what is this. I don't know. Yeah, most probably some kind of a spam or something. Let me reload the page just in case to check out the stream properly. Okay, we are back in business. So yeah, we just ignore that message that came and keep on going on to the duty. So yeah, just like yesterday, today I'm using Ubuntu or Ubuntu. I don't know, I will call it Ubuntu, okay? Sorry if it's the wrong pronunciation. Besides, my English are not the best, not even close in this world. Anyway, let me show you the system information before we will continue. First, we will use the GUI method. So, system, about, system details. And as I said before, Alienware M17 R5 AMD edition. The system has 32GB of RAM and 2TB SSD storage. The CPU is an AMD Ryzen 9 6900HX, and the graphics are also AMD Radeon 6800M. And the Linux version, the Linux distribution, is the Ubuntu 26.04 LTS long-term support, GNOME on Wayland. And then let's go to the system. One moment, I forgot to do something. Let's go to the system terminal. Zoom in a bit. You know what? Let's go back to this maximum screen and boom, it's humongous. Anyway, you can pause the stream, you can take your time and absorb everything, all the system information in detail, or you can do the same thing when the video will be ready on my YouTube channel. However, pay attention on the screen resolution. I'm using 4K resolution on a 17-inch display, and the full screen resolution is 3840 by 2160 at 120 Hz. However, I'm streaming and recording, yes, at 4K, but scaling it in Full HD and 30 FPS. So with that out of the way, let's go back to the normal size and let's go back to your corner. Okay, so there is that. You know what? Let me disappear the terminal. So what is Ubuntu? Let's go to the Wikipedia page first. Ubuntu is a Linux distribution based on Debian and composed primarily of free and open source software. Developed by the British company Canonical and a community of contributors under a meritocratic governance model, Ubuntu is released in multiple official editions, desktop, server and core for IoT and robotic devices. Ubuntu is published on a 6-month release cycle with long-term support, LTS, versions issued every 2 years. And goes blah blah blah. Let's go and read about GNOME on Wikipedia. GNOME is a free and open source desktop environment for Linux and other Unix-like operating systems. It is distributed as the default desktop environment of many major Linux distributions, including Debian, Fedora Linux, Ubuntu, Red Hat Enterprise Linux, and SUSE Linux, or SUSE, however you pronounce this, Linux Enterprise, and is the default in Oracle Solaris, a Unix operating system. GNOME is developed by the GNOME project. Excuse me. As I said in the past week, I don't know, 10 days, I'm not feeling well. GNOME is developed by the GNOME project, which is composed of both volunteers and paid contributors, the largest corporate contributor being Red Hat, and goes on, blah blah blah. Then these are the official web pages. This part is this website is a part of the canonical Ubuntu website, and it's regarding the Ubuntu desktop. So Ubuntu for desktops, the #1 open source operating system powering millions of PCs and laptops around the world. The secure modern operating system used by millions. And it gives plenty of information, thousands of applications, high performance, yada yada yada. And then the official GNOME web page, an independent computing platform for everyone, a more elegant way to use your computer. Yada yada yada. And yes, I agree. In some regards, to me at least, it's even better than macOS itself, which is heavily they borrowed heavily from macOS. I mean, to be specific, macOS 10. Anyway, let's close these websites. And yesterday I was quite on the negative side of Ubuntu 26.04 LTS version. It doesn't matter, it's growing pains. For me, most Linux distributions are tons better to use than any Windows version or any macOS version. Unless of course you have very specific tools that they require those operating systems, I wouldn't even touch those. So any Linux distribution is better than those operating systems. But yeah, Ubuntu, just like with Zorin OS, just like with, I don't know, this and that example that I have given in the past videos and streams, this one too, unless you try to customize it heavily, no problem. Typical GNOME things. The system is somewhat snappy, no problem, you know. The only contrarian is the word, the only worm in the apple, so to speak, is this situation with the apps, the snaps. Either they should change the apps themselves, either they should change the way you search and download the apps. For example, I've given an example yesterday. Let's just say GNOME 2x. I will just use 2x. I think it's easier for it to search for it. And as we can see, it says results for 2x, but based on the relevance and snap packages. So if you want to really find this app, you need to go for Debian packages. And also this one does not search for Flatpaks. I mean, it's like, why? Just do it, fellas. Other Linux distributions have already done this. Why you are not doing the same thing? It's a silly thing to complain maybe, but still, it's a problem. And I'm somewhat experienced user. I cannot imagine a new user they will search for an app or two. As soon as they will not get any results, they will just ignore this app center immediately and try to search online and yada yada yada. Anyway, maybe you have already seen it happening. I've been trying to customize the system. This is the red glass cursor, which is puzzling to me that it's not working perfectly. I know why that is, and it's related to something that I promised you yesterday, that I will return to this today or in the days ahead. The system is Wayland only, and this cursor set is made for X11, so it basically must be using right now the X Wayland thing in order to be compatible with this system, but still it's not fully compatible. Depending on where you move the cursor, you see some kind of a square block. Anyway, I don't care for it at the moment, but it's a problem anyway. And then as you can see on the top bar, I'm hidden. I have it hidden, unless I will move the mouse up there exactly like I want it to be. Also, I have the weather on the icon here and in the center on the date clock thing. And then I have down here the weather as well. And when I click here, boom, I get the weather display. Anyway, plenty of stuff to take care still, but let me keep on going. Then the dock. I started the customization live on the stream yesterday. But yeah, even better now, I can hide it without having to push a window, an app or whatever there. Just, you know, the logical thing for me at least, but yeah, old cow and all that, I guess. Anyway, maybe you can already see some icons already changed in the dock. And then the same thing in the, how they are calling it, in the show apps place. Not all icons changed, but I will get there, But yeah, I've installed a few extra apps and I've been trying to take care of the theming, the icons, everything really. But plenty of troubles while trying to do that. But in order to accomplish things, I have to hack few extensions. Anyway, I disabled a couple things here. They're useless to me. Ubuntu Tiling Assistant and desktop icons. And I have enabled these ones. These are usually what I use. I've been saying this back surely in PKOS that I remember when I used the GNOME desktop environment. I used this and more, but didn't have the time to take care of everything. But some of them for me are a must. Like, you know, I'll show it again. I have this window on the top middle part of the screen. So when I will launch it again, boom, it goes there. This is happening thanks to this extension called Smart Auto Move NG. So yeah, the same thing with other windows that I'm using, like the terminal for example. It goes to the bottom right corner because I've set it to be there as my default spot. Anyway, we'll get back to these things later in the next few videos, streams, whatever. I mean the extensions that I'm using. I'm just showing you what happened so far today. And then I've installed this volume control, and then I took care of how apps appear, but I'll show you a few issues, like for example GIMP. Although I managed for it to use my theme, the theme that I prefer, as you can see, it doesn't display the decorations like close, minimize, etc. I'm not sure if I will be able to fix it, but at least they are on the left side like I wanted them to be, that I had success, and I can use them. Boom, I just closed GIMP like that. But still this is an issue for me that I must fix. And then for example on Tenacity, let me show you Tenacity. For some reason, although it seems that it's using my theme, my settings just fine, the decorations are on the right side of the window, and yes, they are functioning properly, but not at the left side like I want them to be. And then, just like I showed you with the weather app just before, this one, the weather forecast, as you can see, it's totally oblivious to my theme, like everything, almost everything, because as you can see, at least the decoration buttons are on the left side. I know why these things are happening, but it's insane that I have so many little details here and there, and most probably I'll have to make surgical operations on them. Anyway, another thing that really is a bummer, maybe you can see it if I will have a few windows on screen and try to do some animations here and there. Let me do it. I told you yesterday that I noticed when I record something locally and watching back that recording that I was seeing like some kind of a jerky lagging performance, like ghosting or something. I don't know how to call it, but even though I have reduced the animations almost everywhere in the system, still when I'm doing things that should animate my windows around, like for example like this one, maybe you are noticing some jerky animations, some I don't know, like flickering happening. This one I'm not sure if I can fix myself. Maybe it's a deeper problem with the operating system, with the Linux distribution, but I will try to fix it nonetheless. We will see. But yeah, customization so far, as you can see, I also managed to have my wallpapers be a slideshow. I just can't live without this. Better not to use any operating system without, you know, having this slideshow happening. I'm weird like that, sorry. Anyway, and what else? Oh yeah, I solved this was a silly issue, but still. Sorry. When I was trying to move to another workspace, because I had my keybinds super key plus the number of the workspace, like super 2, I was on workspace 2, super 3, on workspace 3, and so on. I was having apps on the dock launching, and it's a silly thing, but I fixed it. And then I complained, for example, about the dock yesterday, but actually most of the stuff either you can fix through the extensions manager by going to the Ubuntu dock, which is basically, this is another add-on extension. I don't recall the name at the moment. I think it was Dust to Dock, I think it's called, the normal extension. Let me check out fast. Sorry, I will just go here, I have it open. Dust to Dock. Yeah, I think it's this one. Yeah, it must be this one. And basically they have Sherlocked it, as we used to say back in the macOS Sherlock era. Those who know already know. Those who don't, just search online. So in some capacity they have Sherlock that add-on and extension, whatever. And here it is. And almost like perfect solution in my case, because I was using that extension. So yeah, I'm happy and satisfied with the end result. And I'm glad that it was quite a brave solution on their part. But I would rather have that those details inside the system settings. For example, I would rather have them because they have the settings of the dock here. I would rather have all the settings in here and not just have to open the extension in order to discover these things. But yeah, really, I'm not trying to be like negative on this Linux distribution. Just a me thing. It's I am the problem. I like to have things easily customizable. I like to have things change according to my mood, you know, like according to what I want to do with the system. And Ubuntu doesn't cut it so far. Ubuntu 26.04 LTS doesn't cut it so far. And if I will be seeing like it takes too much effort and time to accomplish the full customization that I have in mind, I will just ignore it after 2-3 videos and go to the next thing to try, which is most probably Fedora 44. But yeah, we'll see. Anyway, all things considered, it seems like I'm 40% on the way to customize as I want to customize the system. 30-40%. I don't think it's 50%. It may appear to be on the untrained eyes, but it's not. I have plenty of work to do still. Maybe not even 30. Anyway, yeah, hopefully I didn't bore you enough. Hopefully you liked what you see. Sorry about the rant. Maybe the people who are taking care of these things maybe will eventually take care of nut jobs like myself that prefer to customize their systems a lot, appearance wise and function wise. And yeah, fellas, if you want to Sherlock another thing, please beat this tiling solution at least, please. Why you don't have this? Why? Anyway, Sherlock this one too. Anyway, yeah. Thank you for watching. Thank you for everything, really. I mean it. Thank you for everything. And see you on the next one. Bye.